guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me today. Welcome to any new subscribers and welcome back to my old returning subscribers. As you can see, there's a little bit of a different setup today for today's video, but I've just literally moved my camera about 6 foot this way. But I thought we'd have a nice change for spring. I've got my daffodils behind me. I floated the idea on Instagram a few weeks ago and I asked you guys if you would like to have a video made for you talking about having a more mindful and sustainable period. And the answer was a resounding yes please. So today's topic of conversation is all about periods, because today in 2020 I still believe there is a huge period shame in cultures across the world. Menstruation chat is totally taboo, whereas we seem very comfortable and confident talking about gender inequality, racial inequality, sex and female pleasure. So that's why I'm doing this video. I wanted to talk to you guys, mainly women obviously, or anyone who menstruates, but I wanted to talk to you about periods in general and just kind of get the conversation out there, because they are fascinating things that happen to our body every single month. And it's a cycle that most women go through. And I really think the key to understanding your moods and having a better sense of well-being during your cycle is possible. Also, if anything, I hope that this video opens up the conversation more on the internet to banish period shame. I don't want people to feel ashamed to say they're on their period, to be walking to the bathroom with their tampon hidden up their sleeves. I think we need to eradicate all jokes around like moody bitch or oh, she must be on her period from men. It's just sexist, okay? And it's not okay. Everyone needs to accept that this is the facts of life. It's totally cool. It's totally normal. Let's talk about it. Let's understand it more. So that's what we're going to do today. So before we jump into the video, I just want to say 2 disclaimers. Number 1, I actually was on chemical contraception. I was on the pill for about 10 years, I think it was, and then I was on the coil, the Mirena coil, for the last 5. I think contraception is a wonderful thing, but I've elected to come off chemical contraception and use other methods. That's really because after being on chemical contraception for so long, I felt like I didn't really understand my cycle. It was different on the pill, it was different on the coil. I kind of wanted to let my body figure itself out and get back to its natural rhythm after contraception had intervened for the best part of 15 years. But then again, that's my choice and everybody is entitled to use whatever they feel comfortable with and what works best for them. Disclaimer number 2, I am working with an awesome brand called CALLALY, which are organic, sustainable period products. And I think them sponsoring this video is absolutely perfect because what they're doing is absolutely fantastic. As you can see, I have my box of CALLALY period goodness right here. These guys are doing wonderful things when it comes to making having a period so much more natural and convenient. All of their products are organic, they are toxin free, which is so important because your vagina is one of the most absorbent organs in the body. I would always say when you use period products, make sure they are organic, make sure they are fragrance free. You don't need to perfume your vagina. There's no point. The monthly delivery boxes that they send out to you are awesome because you just go online, you elect whatever sort of box you want, whether it's light, medium, heavy flow. You can mix and match products from panty liners to night pads to tamp liners to tampons, anything you want, and it arrives a week before your period or whenever you want it to arrive, so it's all there ready for you before you begin your monthly flow. Also, I need to just give a shout out to this incredible product designed by a gynecologist. It's one of its kind, and this piece of kit is absolutely brilliant. I'm going to show you why. It's genius. So basically, this is what it looks like. Obviously, the tampon's there. You insert it like that, and then you have this really amazing little micro panty liner to catch any excess blood that overflows from your period when you're using a tampon. That's a worry for a lot of women out there, and I just think it's an absolutely incredible idea. So, and you can only get them here. Shout out to CALLALY, doing great things for women everywhere. Alright guys, so let's jump into it. So for most menstruating, a cycle is 4 weeks long. We're going to talk about each phase because there's 4 very distinct phases through a menstrual cycle. Week 1, phase 1, the bleeding phase. Some people would call this week 4, but we're gonna go with the bleeding phase first. So basically your period. A normal period lasts between 3 to 5, maybe 7 days. The day your period starts, your progesterone hormone is plunging, and that causes the uterine lining to shed, and that is what comes out of your vagina. That is what is essentially your period. So how might you feel during week 1 of your cycle? So during this week, your energy is typically going to be at its lowest during the month. You might not feel like socializing, you might feel like just staying in quite quite a bit. Basically, things take effort. It literally took me years of making plans on period week and then only to cancel them on period week last minute to realise that I just shouldn't be making plans on period week full stop. It's not a time that I want to be out there, you know, socializing, networking. It's like a time for well-being, just really like taking care of your body. Week 1 cycle hacks. Like I just said, having downtime is extremely important for me during my period. It can also be tremendously helpful in just like letting you rest up. Your body is essentially, you know, working hard to get rid of an egg and a uterine lining that isn't being used. So just make sure you're scheduling nice things for yourself, like taking a hot Epsom bath, which is going to help relax the muscles, do some meditation, go for a 15-minute walk in the fresh air. Those are all really good places to start for just like having an overall sense of well-being. Okay, number 2, masturbate. Masturbation is amazing for increasing your mood. It's going to release dopamine, oxytocin, which are happy hormones and chemicals which just really lift you up, and they're also going to make your mood better. They're going to de-stress you. It might be a time right now that you maybe pick up your journal, you start writing a bit more. I certainly use my downtime to catch up on my Netflix list or my reading list on my Kindle. Exercise should still very much be a part of your routine when you're on your period. Obviously your energy levels are a lot lower, so I like to do stuff like yoga, a lot of stretching, maybe swimming, walking, power walking, that sort of thing. Week 2, the follicular stage, aka possibly my favorite stage in my 4-week cycle. It's a toss-up between 2 and 3, but I think 2 wins, and here's why. The follicular stage is a stage that follows right after your menstruation. So at this time, your pituitary gland releases a hormone called FSH, or should I say follicle stimulating hormone. This basically stimulates the follicles in your eggs, in your ovaries, to start ripening them up and getting them mature. Also during this phase, your estrogen and your testosterone start to rise. So how might you feel? So week 2 brings a ton of energy and assertiveness. You are gonna feel like your most powerful, badass, confident self. Your brain and your mood will also feel boosted too. Many women report feeling surges in confidence and like the desire to take risks in week 2. So that's why it could be a really great time to either try a new outfit or a daring new lipstick color. Maybe you've got your eye on someone and you want to ask them out on a date. Week 2 is the time to do it. Speak up in meetings, ask for that pay rise. You know your worth right now and you've got your hormones to back you 100%. I personally feel like my most productive during week 2, which is absolutely awesome for me as a freelancer, a small business owner. I'm super on it productive wise. I'm like ticking off my to-do lists, I'm getting ideas flowing, I just feel really creative. I feel like problems are easier to tackle. I'm like more assertive in my negotiations, in my emails. I just generally feel so much self-sufficiency during week 2. I feel like superwoman, honestly. So as we sort of like go to the tail end of week 2 into week 3, you might feel your libido picking up. Also, with that surge of testosterone, you're going to want to do more strenuous activities if you like to exercise. I recommend weightlifting in week 2 because you genuinely have like that surge of testosterone in your body. It's gonna just feel really good lifting heavy weights and doing like hardcore exercise. We love week 2. So phase 3, the ovulation phase. What is happening to your body during ovulation? I like to call this key set of days the window of life. It's these set of days that your body has been working so hard towards. This is its opportunity. This is the opportunity to get that egg fertilized. I can appreciate most of us will not want to be getting our eggs fertilized, but I'll let you know that it's this time that you are your most fertile. So if you are having sex and you do not want to get pregnant, make sure you're using protection. So it's at this point your egg is released in the follicle in the ovary and it is fertile for approximately 12 to 24 hours. So as we talked about in week 2, your estrogen levels are rising, your testosterone levels are rising, it feels great, you're on fire, the world is your oyster. It's right at ovulation phase when they are at their peak. How might you feel during week 3? I really enjoy the start of week 3, mainly because my libido tends to go off the scale. Most women report that they actually feel their sexiest during week 3. Your face can look more symmetrical and you're actually more attracted to men in this stage more than ever. And that is no biological mistake, guys. Your body's core aim right now is to get that egg fertilized. Honestly, my boyfriend gets downright harassed during week 3. So it's about that. It's not me, it's the hormones. So feeling sexy and wanting to have sex is totally normal at this time of the month. So as we nosedive into sexy week 3, we suddenly reach the peak of the mountain, and then for some it can all be downhill from there. For many women, including myself, ovulation pain is something that you can suffer with during week 3 and during the ovulation phase of your cycle. The medical name for ovulation pain is Mittelschmerz. It's German, I believe, and that basically occurs when the egg is released from the follicle. It usually occurs on one side of the uterus, so most often you'll find ovulation pain either on the left or the right, and that'll be the side that you're actually ovulating from that month, so the side that the egg's being released. For many women trying to get pregnant, actually having ovulation pain is a great way to sort of know when you're at your most fertile. I personally hate it. It really does vary for me though. Like, it can be super intense some months where it literally floors me, and other months I barely feel a thing. And I've actually found that it can have a lot to do with my diet at the time. If I'm eating higher quantities of sugar or consuming more alcohol or high carbohydrate diet, then my ovulation pain does tend to be a little bit worse. If I'm on a low carb diet, then it is a lot better. So just to put your mind at ease, ovulation pain is totally normal if you do suffer from it. However, if it is quite severe, then it may be worth booking an appointment in with your GP or gynecologist just to make sure it's nothing serious, or it's cysts, endometriosis, or polycystic ovaries or anything like that. Week 3 cycle hacks. So with all the sexiness going around, it might be a good time to get a few date nights in. Embrace this feel good factor. Enjoy the fact that you feel like you're looking your best right now. Go out, network, socialize. Really just embrace that because it's quite nice being able to go out and feel super confident. This is basically the peak energy of the entire cycle, so make the most of it, guys. In terms of exercising, anything that's gonna get your heart rate up right now or requires a lot of energy, like cardio, running, HIIT classes, anything like that. Okay, phase 4, the luteal phase. And I say it with a sad face because it does tend to be the hardest phase for many women. So what is happening to your body in week 4? Estrogen and testosterone are declining. Progesterone is increasing. So progesterone is like the nature's sedative, kind of like a Valium. It's at this point in your cycle where you might feel your energy levels starting to decrease slightly, but it's fine because it's time to start winding down before your period comes again. And obviously, guys, I say this with a pinch of salt, obviously real life is happening. It's just a way for you to be a little bit more mindful about what's going on in your body, and if you're feeling this way, then it's because your body is in a cycle. So how might you feel during week 4? Like the devil is inside me, maybe? PMS can be extremely difficult for many women. I put a shout out on Instagram the other day to all my females in week 4 of their cycle right now because that shit is hard. When I was on chemical contraception, I honestly did not get PMS. At least I didn't think I did. Like I said before, I didn't feel like I was very in touch with my natural cycle and the way my body was working. But right now, having a natural cycle, I am so in touch with my PMS. Like, oh yeah, it's here, it's in the room. I'm a little bit too in touch, and that's what actually provoked me to looking into the phases of the cycle, because I wanted to understand it better, because honestly, that shit makes you crazy. If you don't really get PMS, then get off my channel now. You can stay so you can hear how awful it is for the rest of us. So PMS can feel like a ton of different things. Number 1, you're gonna start craving carbohydrates, sugary foods, heavy foods, junk food, just comfort food. It's wise to be mindful and like make sure you're having a balanced diet, because it's gonna make all of your symptoms a lot more manageable, like breast tenderness, moodiness, and energy dips. I also recommend avoiding sugary foods, caffeine. Breast tenderness is obviously a thing during this phase. A lot of women feel their breasts get very swollen and enlarged and tender. Like, don't get me wrong, they look fucking amazing, but don't touch them because that shit hurts. Like, for real. Oh my god, they're so sore. Week 4 is the week that we get the bloat. It literally happens to my waistline, my face, my ankles, my wrists, everywhere. It's awful. By far, the worst part of PMS is the way I feel slightly unhinged sometimes. Anxiety can be heightened definitely during week 4 of your cycle. It does vary from month to month. Like, most of the time it's manageable, but sometimes on a really bad month it can be like, you know, sky high, through the roof. I feel like everyone's out to get me. I'm second guessing all my business decisions, just generally low mood, like depressed, just just not feeling good. A lot of women report feeling very teary at this time, emotional. Guys, that's totally fine. If you are gonna cry over a little bit of a shitty email at work, that's okay. Like, fucking run to the bathroom, have it out, you'll feel better for it. Don't think that you're a weirdo. It's totally normal, it's totally natural, it's totally out of your control. It's Mother Nature just controlling your body. And I do just want to say, like, anyone suffering from PMS, that shit is not in your head. It is Mother Nature's cross to bear. It's hard. Like, you deserve a break, and it deserves to be recognized by everyone, every gender, in the workplace, everywhere. Like, this is what women go through every single month, and people need to understand that, and it needs to be spoken about, because, you know, it's a big burden that we carry for most of our lives as menstruating females. I now actually flag to my partner when week 4 is approaching, because, you know, it's nice to give him a little heads up that the devil inside is coming to visit, but also just because I want him to be nicer to me. I want him to be more mindful of the fact that I'm more sensitive right now, maybe my mood's a little bit lower, you know, things aren't as, you know, great as they are in week 2 and 3. So I just appreciate him having a heads up, being a little bit mindful of our interactions. You know, I might be a little bit needier or whatever. So week 4 cycle hacks, right? So we're all crazy right now. How do we help ourselves? So you can actually reduce the symptoms that you get in week 4 by being better to yourself in week 3. As I mentioned before, like exercising to boost your mood, getting all your tasks done sooner rather than later so you don't feel overwhelmed in week 4, eating healthily, lowering your alcohol intake, lowering your sugar intake, caffeine, all of that sort of thing. Just being mindful, having a healthy diet. It's really gonna make week 4 easier for you. I think week 4 is also a fantastic time to do like nice things for yourself. Like book that facial in, get a nice haircut, a blowout, mani, pedi, massage, whatever makes you feel good. Buy a new top. Surround yourself with positive people who lift you up and make you feel good about yourself. I always recommend that people use magnesium and B6 like every day of their cycle, but it's week 4 that you have to be mindful of upping the magnesium a little bit more, and that's going to help you relax and get a better night's sleep, to recharge and kind of get ready for the week that's happening next. And yeah, ultimately just honor your body, be nice to it. You already got the most out of yourself during week 2 and week 3, so now is your chance to honor your body, pay its dues, respect, just nurture it, be kind, be mindful, just relax. And back to day 1. Here we go again. Honestly, the miracle of life. So, as you can see, the female body is fascinating. It's a continuous ebb and flow of life, similar in a way to the environment around us. I honestly think that like understanding your cycle more and learning the phases of it and what's happening to your body means that you get to maximize your true potential in all areas of your life. On a more like hippie, holistic note, I just think it's fascinating how our bodies as women are synced with the earth and Mother Nature so closely. Like everything in the world is cyclical, just in the same way that the moon has its phases, it grows, it shrinks. There's 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, winter, and we all go around in a cycle, just like there's 4 sections of your cycle and we all just go round and round and round. Life is cyclical, guys. It's all totally normal, natural, lovely, and should be embraced at every stage for what it is. Periods and menstruation, they give life. And I really do urge you, after watching this video, to take a minute just to appreciate yourself and how amazing you truly are, because you're all amazing. So thank you once again for watching this video with me. I hope it was interesting or even entertaining. All I want to do is just open up the conversation more about what most women's bodies are going through every single month on repeat until we're well into our 50s. Like, it should be spoken about more. And also thank you to my amazing sponsor for this video, CALLALY. I will link their site down below so you can see what they have to offer in terms of period products and monthly subscription services. I really urge you, if you haven't already thought about using natural period products, to make the change, because it's definitely much better for your body and your well-being. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and any comments, just start them down below and we can have a chat. Bye for now.